Good morning students, welcome back to botany session, and in these videos we are going to discuss one of the two cell organs of cytology or cell biology, Golgi apparatus, another one is mitochondria. These are the two topics we are going to discuss now. And Golgi apparatus, it is also called Golgi body or dictyosome. Dictyosomes. It is one of the cell organs are present in the cytoplasm of the cells, both plant cells and animal cell. It was first observed by Camillo Golgi in the year 1898. Camillo Golgi or Golgi observed a small network like such as of fiber like such as near the nucleus. He actually observed in nerve cells of bird and also cat. He is the first person, Camillo Golgi in the year 1898 observed a small sac network like such as of fibers observed near the nucleus in the cytoplasm of the cell, especially in animal cells of nerve cells of bird and also cat cells. And after that, he is named as Golgi body or also called Golgi apparatus because it was observed by Golgi. That is why the Golgi apparatus got the name because of observed by Camillo Golgi in the year 1898. But whereas in plant cells, these Golgi bodies are observed or found in a small vesicle-like structures. These vesicle-like structures is called as dictyosomes. Dictyosomes. Remember, in animal cell we call it is a Golgi apparatus or also Golgi body. But whereas in plant cell it is named as dictyosomes. Generally, in Golgi apparatus composed of four main parts. What are the four main parts? The first one is cisternae. The second one is tubules. The third one is vesicles. Fourth one is Golgi vacuoles. So these are the four parts that are arranged they are combined together to form Golgi apparatus and also Golgi bodies. I will explain one by one. It is better easy to understand. First we take cisternae. What is called cisternae? How they are arranged? The cisternae actually is made up of 4 to 8 a stalk of a granular structures. This is cisternae. In animal cell, a stalk of 4 to 8. But whereas in plant cell, it is a 10 to 12. Stalk in the sense arranged one upon others. It is a stalk like such as these are called cisternae. These cisternae, they are ending with a small sac-like structures is called vesicles. Both sides are ending with a sac-like structures called vesicles. Once again, you would remember, in animal cell, there are 4 to 8 stalk, means arranged one above another in a membrane bound succulent structures. These are called cisternae. It is a cisternae. But whereas in plant cell, the stalk it is a 10 to 20 in numbers. The 10, minimum 10, maximum 10 a membrane bound succulent structures are arranged one above another in plant cells. See, these sac-like structures are flattened membrane-like structures ended at the peripheral edge. It is divided to form a network tubules. A network structures is called tubules. These are tubules. At the end of or edge of peripheral edge of these cisternae, ending with a network structure is called tubules. These are tubules. Each tubules are ending with a small sac is called vesicles. These are called vesicles. These are vesicles. There are two types of vesicles. One is smooth vesicle. Another one is a coated vesicles. Then what it will be smooth vesicle? It is also called secretory vesicles because it contains a secretory substance. Yes, it is a smooth vesicle. Then what is a secretory vesicle? It is a secretory vesicles. Smooth vesicle, it is also called secretory because it contains a secretory substance is also present. Then it is a coated vesicles. Vesicle, it is a rough coated vesicle. These are coated vesicles. But main functions of this smooth or secretory vesicle, it contains a secretory, a lot of secretory substances are present. There are two types of vesicles. But in addition to that, there is a fourth one is Golgi vacuole. The Golgi vacuole, these are the extensions of vesicles. Generally, they are larger in size. They are larger in size. These are called Golgi vacuoles. So what is called Golgi vacuole? These are the extension of cisternae. They are generally large in size. It is completely filled with a granular substance. Some of them, they are functioning as a lysosome functioning. You know what is how the lysosomes are formed? Based on their GERL system. Golgi bodies, Golgi apparatus associated with the endoplasmic reticulum from which lysosomes are developed. These are called GERL system. For better easy to understand, I will draw the diagram here. Yes, these are the endoplasmic reticulum. Especially it is a rough endoplasmic reticulum because it is attached with the ribosome. These are the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum. SCR, smooth endoplasmic reticulum without attachment of ribosome. These are the rough endoplasmic reticulum because attachment of ribosomes. So a small pieces of this rough endoplasmic reticulum are bud off. I means pinch off. It is a pinch off. Small pieces of rough endoplasmic reticulum are pinch off and fused together. Many this to form a vesicle like such as. They are bud off to form vesicles. Vesicles nothing but a sac like structure. So there are many vesicles are combined together to form Golgi bodies. To form Golgi bodies. So the vesicles from the rough endoplasmic reticulum and also from the Golgi body. These are the Golgi bodies. The vesicle both from the endoplasmic reticulum as well as the Golgi bodies are fused together to form a primary lysosomes. Primary lysosome. Lysosomes, it is also called as a suicidal bags that we see in another videos discuss. How these primary lysosomes are formed? The vesicles from the both Golgi bodies and endoplasmic reticulums are fused together to form primary lysosome. Many primary lysosomes are combined together to form secondary then tertiary. We will discuss later. So these vacuoles are, some of the vacuoles, I mean Golgi vacuoles, they are functioning as a lysosomes. The next, these Golgi bodies, it is an asymmetrical, it is a polarized. What do you mean polarized? There are two faces. One is a concave, another one is a convex. So this face, these are called concave face. These are the convex. Convex. That is why it is a polarized. What do you mean by polarized? There are two faces of Golgi body are also dictyosome. One face is a concave face. Another opposite face is a convex face. That is called polarized. So this concave face, it is a concave face. It is also called maturation or transphase. Transphase. This maturation or transphase, it is always facing towards the plasma membrane. Plasma membrane or also cell membrane. These sides are facing towards the periphery of the cells, plasma membrane. But this convex phase, it is a convex phase. These cisternae are interconnected. These cisternae are interconnected by a tubular like such as that's called tubules. Yes, these are the convex phase. This convex phase, it is also called as forming or cis phase. The forming cis phase, it is facing towards the endoplasmic reticulum and nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane. Remember, it is a nucleus. These are the controlling center of the cell. Nucleus, it is covered by the membrane, is called nuclear membrane. It is attached with endoplasmic reticulum. Yes. There are two types of endoplasmic reticulum. We know that one is a rough endoplasmic reticulum, another one is a smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So this convex phase, it is facing towards the nucleus, nuclear membrane and endoplasmic reticulum. Why? Because of this arrangement, these sac-like structures or Golgi apparatus, they are highly compartmentalized to form a series of steps that involving formations of a functional proteins. As we know that the endoplasmic reticulum, especially this rough endoplasmic reticulum, the major function is synthesis of proteins. Yes, it is a proteins. What are the functions of the smooth endoplasmic reticulum? Because they do not attach with the ribosome, they synthesize lipids. So the synthesis of proteins and lipids, these are non-functional. It is a raw materials. It is a raw material. They are not any functions. So how they gets modified to functions when they are enter into the Golgi apparatus, through which phase forming phase are also called transphase. Then this forming phase or transphase, it is also called receiving side of the Golgi apparatus. But this maturation phase, it is a discharging or also shipping side of the Golgi body. So these non-functional proteins and fatty substances are entered into the Golgi apparatus through this space. They get modified, finishing and packaging and release into a functional proteins. These functional proteins are well packed in a small sac-like structure called vesicle. And finally, the vesicles are bud off. Bud off means they are cut off from these and released to either inner side of the cells or outer side of the cells by this process called exocytosis. So these are the functional proteins. These are the functional lipids. So what are the major functions of this Golgi body? That is act as a center for the receiving or reception, finishing and finally packaging and sent to the various parts of the cells. These are the major functions. So that is why these endoplasmic, Golgi bodies, they are always associated with the endoplasmic reticulum. It is one of the major functions that is called cell secretions. Cell secretion. So these Golgi bodies play a vital role in the post-translated modification of protein. What's called after translation modification of protein, as well as glycosidations of lipids. Lipids actually it is produced by or synthesized by the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. It is a non-functional. When they are entered into the Golgi bodies, they get modified and finishing as a functional lipids. These are the functions. I mean major structures of these Golgi bodies. Now, what are the functions of these Golgi bodies? Functions. The first function, one of the major or foremost functions of this Golgi body is called cell secretion. Cell secretions. You know what is called cell secretion? Just now I point out, it is a major center for reception, receiving and also finishing and packing, finishing and packing, and finally they are released into the outside the cells or inner cells. These are the major functions of cell secretion. So receiving, finishing and packing. So it acts as a center for receiving, finishing, packing of this a lot of secretory substance, and it is a functional proteins. And second one is, it is mainly involved in the cell wall formation and cell plate formations. You know that in previous videos, as I said in previous classes, previous videos, cell wall, there are three types of cell wall: middle lamellae, primary wall, secondary wall, tertiary wall. In middle lamellae, it is made up of calcium pectate and magnesium pectate. These pectate substances are synthesized by these Golgi apparatus, are also called dictyosomes. So that is why it is mainly involved in the cell plate formation as well as cell wall formation. Cell wall especially for pectic substance formations. Next, the third one is, it is also involved in the production of glycoprotein and glycolipids. Glycolipids. Productions of glycoprotein and glycolipids. What is the process of glycoprotein, glycolipids? This Golgi apparatus that links the carbohydrate with protein, these are comes from this endoplasmic reticulum. What are the functions of endoplasmic reticulum? Productions of carbohydrate as well as protein synthesis. But it is a non-functionally. So the carbohydrate and proteins are coming from the endoplasmic reticulum. They are linked by these Golgi apparatus to form a functional protein is called a glycoprotein by the process called glycosylations. And similarly, glycolipids linking of or combining of lipids and also proteins. Lipids and proteins coming from the endoplasmic reticulum, they are linked together, form a complex structures by this Golgi apparatus, by this process called glycosylations. So it is involved in the production of glycoprotein and glycolipids. The third one is formation of lysosome. They are involved in the formation of lysosome. Just now I point out how these lysosomes are formed. A small vesicles from the both the cell organelles. What are the both the cell organelles? Endoplasmic reticulum as well as Golgi apparatus. A small vesicles are formed from these two cell organelles. They are combined together to form lysosome. Lysosome is essential for endocytosis and also exocytosis. Then what is called exocytosis? Certain undigested materials are sent out from the cells by these lysosomes. Hence they are called suicidal bags lysosomes. By this process called exocytosis, it is also called cell vomiting. The undigested food materials are sent out. So it is also involved in the formation of this lysosome and also involved in the formations of acrosome formations. Acrosome. You know what is called acrosome? A tip of the male sperm is called acrosome. This acrosome is synthesized by these Golgi bodies. Then next, it is also involved in vitellogenesis. Vitellogenesis is nothing but yolk formation in egg cells. Especially egg cells, the yolk are formed by this process called vitellogenesis. It is mainly carried out by the cell organelles called these Golgi bodies or Golgi apparatus. The next, root cap. They are rich in Golgi bodies. So it is mainly involved to secretion of lubricants. What is the function of lubrication? They play an important role in the root tip. If the root tips only they penetrate into the soil particle, they get lubricant. These lubrications are synthesized by these Golgi bodies, especially play an important role root capsules. Next, the hormones also synthesized. Mainly hormones synthesized by these endocrine glands. It is initiated to induce synthesis of hormones and also a lot of digestive enzymes. The digestive enzymes are synthesized by Golgi apparatus and also zymosin granules. The what is called zymosin granules? It is nothing but proenzyme are also precursor of all enzymes are synthesized by these Golgi bodies. And these are the functions are carried out by one of the cellular. These are called Golgi apparatus and also called Golgi bodies. The next, mitochondria. We discussed mitochondria. The next cell organelle, mitochondria. Mitochondria singular, mitochondria plural. A mitochondria is also called powerhouse of the cells. Then why do we call it is a powerhouse of the cells? I tell you later at the end of this description. The mitochondria, it was first observed by Kolliker in the year 1880s. A. Kolliker first to observe in flight striated muscles. Flight striated muscles of insect. He is the first person to observe A. Kolliker in their 1880s to observe mitochondria in a flight striated muscles of insect. But later 1894, Altman named this mitochondria as a bioplast. He is called as a bioplast by whom? Altman in the year 1894. In 1897 and 1898, Benda is first person to coin the term mitochondria. So the term mitochondrion was first coined by Benda in the year 1897 to 1898. Benda. The next, it is mitochondria. They may be oval in shapes, or may be rounded in shapes, or may be rod-like structures. If you take the shape, maybe oval or ovoid in shape, or rounded in shape, or sometimes it is a rod-like structures, and pleomorphic in nature. You know what do you mean by pleomorphic? They oftenly change its shape according to their function. Hence it is also called pleomorphic in nature. So if you take the shape of the mitochondria, they may be oval shape, or rounded in shape, rod shape, pleomorphic in nature. And next, if you take the structure of mitochondria, they may be surrounded by double membrane-like structures. Yes. These are the outer membrane. It is an inner membrane. So there are double membrane. Mitochondria is surrounded by double membrane, outer and inner membrane. It is an inner membrane. This outer membrane, it is a highly permeable membrane. They allow a smaller molecules, the free diffusion of molecules are allowed through it due to the presence of a channel protein is called porine proteins. For example, better easy to understand. It is outer membrane. It is an inner membrane. Then inner membrane which fold inverted to form a finger-like projection is called crustale. It's a crustale. It is outer membrane. The outer membrane contains a small minute pore called, these are called porine protein. This porine protein which acts as a channel way that help to diffusion of free diffusion molecules. The molecular size less than 1000 Dalton. You know what's called Dalton? Dalton it is a measuring unit to measure the size of the protein. The size of the protein is measured by the unit is called Dalton. But this porine protein to allow less than 1000 molecules, less than 1000 Dalton. So this acts as a porine. That is why this outer membrane is a highly permeable membrane. It allows to pass through the certain smaller molecules through a channel protein is called a porine protein. But whereas in inner membrane, it is a highly impermeable membrane. It does not allow to pass through all the substance. Inner membrane. This inner membrane divide the mitochondria into two compartments. What are two compartments? The inner membrane, which fold inverted to form a finger-like projection, is called cristae. It is an inner membrane. The inner membrane divide the mitochondria into two chamber or two compartment. One compartment, there is a space between the inner and outer membrane. These are the outer compartment. These are called perimitochondrial space. Perimitochondrial space are also called intermembrane space also. It's a outer chamber, outer compartment. Then what the inner compartment? The inner compartment, it is filled with a proteinaceous material. These are called matrix. This is a matrix. So the inner membrane divide the mitochondria into two chamber or two compartment. One is the outer compartment. It is nothing but the space between the two inner and outer membrane is called a perimitochondrial space. Another one is a inner compartment, inner chamber. It is filled with a proteinous material is called matrix. The inner membrane, which fold inverted to form a finger-like projection. These are called cristae. Cristae contain the enzyme, most of the enzymes for electron transport system. You know what is called electron transport system? It is a fourth stages of aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration, it includes four stages. One is a glycolysis, second one is oxidative decarbonation of pyruvic acid, third one is a Krebs cycle, fourth one is a electron transport chain. If the glucose is completely oxidized by the third stage, Krebs cycle takes place in the matrix of the mitochondria, Krebs cycle, but usable form of energy is not released. For the usable form of energy is where they release in the inner membrane of mitochondria through a process called electron transport system. Many enzymes are involved in the electron transport system. Those enzymes are present in the inner membrane of mitochondria. Many of the enzymes are present. Next, this cristae or finger-like projection, it is consist of many particles. These are called F1 particles. Many particles. It is also called elementary particles. If you enlarge these portions here, these cristae contain many particles. These particles, it is also called F0, F1 particle, are also called elementary particles. Elementary particles are also called fernons and Moran particles. Moran particle, it was first observed by Cragg, hence it is also called Cragg particles. It is also called oxisome. Then what is called oxisome? It is an actual site of oxidative phosphorylation. Oxidative phosphorylations. The oxisomes are the actual site for oxidative phosphorylation. These are the functional unit of mitochondria. This is a functional unit of mitochondria. So once again, the F1 particle, it is also called F0 F1 particle, or also called elementary particle. It is also called Fernand's and Moran particle. It was first extracted by Cragg, hence it is also called Cragg particle, and also known as oxysomes. If you expand this area, it is composed of the F1 particle composed of 3 parts. Right, these are called F0 F1 particles, are also called oxysome. These are the structure of oxysome. It consists of 3 parts. First one is base, then middle piece, these are called stalk portions. Stalk. Last portion, these are head portion, head. These are the main 3 parts of this oxysome. The oxysomes are mainly involved in the oxidative phosphorylation due to the presence of enzyme is called ATP synthase enzyme. The ATP synthase enzymes are present in the head portions. It is the head portions. See, I already point out this inner membrane, it is a highly impermeable membrane to maintain the ionic concentrations. Most of the ions are present, pair of proton ions. Most of the ions are present in the perimitochondrial space. These are the space, perimitochondrial space, proton ions. How the proton ions are there? Due to electron transport chain. What's called electron transport chain? Transfer of electrons and protons from NADH to FADH2. They are accumulated in the inner membrane of mitochondria as a result to cause proton gradient. Here to cause proton gradient. As a result of proton gradient, to increase proton motive force. So how these proton which is present in the inner membrane, they are diffused into the matrix through these F1 particles. There is no another way. If the proton gradient, accumulation of protons are more, they create a proton motive force. Due to proton motive force, these protons are released into the matrix through these F1 particles. If the protons are released or comes in the F1 particle, they lose energy. These energies are coupled with ATP synthesis takes place. How ATP synthesis takes place? ADP, adenosine diphosphate, addition of one inorganic phosphate to form ATP. By this process called oxidative phosphorylation. Oxidative phosphorylations. Oxidative phosphorylation, it is nothing but synthesis of ATP from ADP by the addition of one inorganic phosphate. Process of enzyme is called ATP synthesis. These are called oxidative phosphorylation. Oxidative phosphorylation takes place in the inner membrane of mitochondria through these F1 particles. As a result, if the single glucose molecules are only one glucose molecules are completely oxidized to produce either 36 or 38 molecule of ATP are synthesized. It depends upon the shuttle system. Either 36 or 38 molecule of ATP is produced from the single glucose molecules in the electron transport chain. So, hence the more ATP are synthesized in the mitochondria, so they are called powerhouse of the cells. So, these are the structure. In addition to that, this matrix contain, mitochondrial matrix contain 70% of proteins. 70% of proteins. Then 25 to 30% of lipids present. Lipids. Next, 2 to 7% of DNA and RNA. These are the very trace amount of DNA, RNA is also present. Yes, DNA also present. The DNA, it is a circular form of DNA is present. These are the circular DNA also present. In addition to that, RNA also present. In addition to that, ribosome also present for protein synthesis. It is a ribosomes. What are the type of ribosome? 70s ribosomes are present. Remember, protein present, the next lipids 25 to 30% lipid present, 2 to 7% of DNA and RNA trace molecules also present, and also Krebs cycles also takes place in the inner membrane of matrix. Krebs cycle, the third stages of cellular respiration is called Krebs cycle. Krebs cycle takes place in matrix. What are the enzymes that are essential for the Krebs cycle? Those enzymes also present in the matrix, except succinate dehydrogenase is option. Succinate dehydrogenase, it is absent. It is absent in the matrix. Remaining all enzymes, aconitase, alpha-ketoglutarate dehydrogenase, then fumarase, malate dehydrogenase, citric acid synthesis. These are the enzymes are involved in the Krebs cycle. All these enzymes are present in the matrix except these succinate dehydrogenase enzymes. And apart from that, this mitochondria is also called semi-autonomous cell organelle. Remember, semi-autonomous cell organelle. Then why do we call it a semi-autonomous cell organelle? Why do we call it a semi-autonomous cell organelle? It has own genome. This is a genome, DNA. It has own genome, DNA also present, RNA also present. They replicate themselves. They divide by binary fission. They replicate themselves. And also ribosomes also present. 70s ribosomes also present. But whereas in mammalian species, 55s ribosomes are present in mammalian species. Remember neat question. Generally, what are the ribosome type of ribosome present in the mitochondria? 70s ribosomes. But whereas in mammalian species, 55s ribosomes are present. But due to the presence of this enzyme RNA, they manufacture their own protein synthesis themselves. Hence, it is also called semi-autonomous cell organelle. Remember, why do we get the semi-autonomous cell organelle? They have their own genome, DNA, RNA. They are divided by themselves by binary fission. They replicate by themselves. And ribosomes also present for protein synthesis. Hence, it is also called semi-autonomous cell organelle. The DNA actually, circular DNA is present, but it is rich in guanine cytosine ratio. Remember, neat area. DNA is made up of 4 nitrogen bases. We know that adenine always pair with the thymine, guanine always pair with the cytosine. So there are 3 hydrogen bonds are present between the guanine and the cytosine. Hence, this DNA is a highly denaturation. Remember, the highly denaturation because of it is rich in guanine cytosine ratio. In addition to that, one of the unique characteristic features of mitochondria is they are inherited from female parent, not from the male parent. How they are inherited from the female parent? These are called cytoplasmic inheritance. Because female egg cells, it is egg cells. Male sperm cells, both are fused together to form zygote. Nucleus, cytoplasm. So it is a zygote. See, remember the DNA, which is what's called inheritance, transfer of character from parents to offspring. These are called inheritance, as we know that. But the character is controlled by DNA, which is present in the nucleus part. In the cell of the nucleus part, we know that. But certain characters controlled by the DNA, which is present in the mitochondria, because mitochondria also have the own DNA, own genetic material. Some characters controlled by the DNA, which is present in the mitochondria. But usually mitochondria present where? Cytoplasm of the cell, not in the nucleus. So that is why if the both male and female gamete are fused together to form zygote, zygote contains nucleus. Nucleus is the combining part of both the egg cell and as well as sperm. But whereas in cytoplasm is contributed only by the female parent. Remember, because it's contained mitochondria, hence it is also called cytoplasmic inheritance. There are two cellular members cytoplasmic inheritance. One is a chloroplast, another one is a mitochondria. Both chloroplast and mitochondria, we call it as a semi-autonomous cell organelle. The last point, in addition to that, the DNA which is present in the mitochondria, they are mutated 5 to 10 times faster than the DNA which is present in the nucleus. So, with help of this mutated DNA, we can easily trace the human origin based on their comparisons of mitochondrial DNA. We can trace out the human origin, human evolution also we can easily trace due to the presence of DNA in the mitochondria, because they gets mutated, mutated, sudden irritable change, sudden change in the DNA structures. How many times? 5 to 8 times faster than that of the DNA which is present in the nucleus. Okay students, go through that without skipping, you may easily understand. Next cell we will discuss in the next videos.